オールスターでメディアの方々もシアトルに集結しています。A ロッド、ビッグパピ、ジーターというそうそうたるレジェンドも現地シアトルに赴いていて、FOX スポーツの番組に出演し、今大きく注目されている大谷選手のトレードと、エンゼルスの今後の在り方について議論していました。A ロッドは何やら壮大なプランを考えているようです。
As you can, we appreciate that about just talking about trading the best player in the sport. All right, and I'm curious, Derek, would you? Do you think that's the move for the Angels? I mean, is that how they go about? I mean, it's amazing because we were talking before. You think about trading Steph Curry or trading Mahomes, right? It's like the whole thing. It's so interesting to me that this is even on the table about Ohtani maybe being on the move.
Well, thanks for starting with me.
Of course.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You enjoyed the topic so much when we talked earlier.
I mean, hey, you know, it's. I don't know how you do it. I understand why you would do it, but it's pretty hard to pull that trigger, man. I mean, this guy is the best talent the sports scene in a long time. Overall talent, the sports scene in a long time. And if you do move Ohtani, what's that telling Mike Trout? Who are you going to go out and get? And if you do it, look, I understand it. We talked about it before, the Herschel Walker trade. But you can't get that wrong. If you're going to do it, you can't get it wrong. So we'll see what happens over the next few weeks. But you also don't want to be known as the owner that traded Ohtani.
No doubt.
Well, I got to tell you this. During my time playing for the Red Sox, there's one thing that I always keep in mind. I know I was going to face the Anaheim Angels at some point during the playoff because that was the type of team they had. But that team didn't count only with 2 players. It counted with more players. So they need to rebuild. And they have the biggest opportunity to go out there and get 3, 4, 5 players that can get that team to the promised land in the next couple of years. They're not going to sign Ohtani. We all know that. That guy gonna be around $500, $600 million contract after this season. They can afford that. So what I would do, I would get prepared for the future because that's what the game is all about.
Well, Kevin, thanks for making me go third. No, but look, I think this needs a serious situation and a bold move. I think the Angels, KB, win a world championship in 5 years if they do this. First, you trade Ohtani. Then you trade Trout. And you try to get 5 or 6 players, load up with first rounders. And the next thing that you have to do is bring in a guy like Theo Epstein, give him ownership, and let him run the shop. And that move has to come first and then follow up. I don't think you have the time, but that would be the move.
So the first move is to trade Ohtani and then Trout. Then you sell the team, and then you move out of Anaheim. In that order, that's the order that you take. But no, it makes sense. Everything you say makes sense. I mean, no one knows better than the Anaheim Angels ownership and front office whether or not they have a chance to sign him. We don't know that. We can assume, sit here, and say we know what they're thinking. We don't know. But that's a tough predicament to be in.
But if you sign him, you're gonna talk about $1 billion between 2 players.
Yeah.
At least. So I don't see a team doing that.
And arguably, KB, you can say these are the 2 best assets in the game. I mean, Ohtani is one of the greatest assets in sports. And unless you trust your front office today to move forward, then maybe there's an Ohtani. But you got to have self-awareness. You haven't been good for the last 10 years. And you have an asset where you can go out and reload. And then when you have a guy like Theo Epstein that can rebuild it, he's done it in Boston, unfortunately. He's done it with the Cubs. And why not the Angels?
When we come back, more of Alex's plan to completely tear down the Angels and move them to Europe. Look forward to that.
ね、レジェンドな方々はトレードに前向きな意見が多かったようです。ビッピが現役時代の時のエンゼルスとは別なチームになってしまったえ。ビッグパピのあの言葉はちょっと切なくなりますね。A ロッドからはエンゼルスのオーナーとフロントへの叱咤激励の言葉がありました。オーナーを買いやり手の経営者に変えてなんとヨーロッパに移籍という壮大なプランがあるようです。聞いたこともない唐突な意見で驚きました。次話す機会あるようなので楽しみ